Or I can keep going. I don't care.
I was gonna say we're not gonna do the worst first.
Well, I thought we were gonna do all the TV film and then go back and do all the worst of that list.
Okay, fair enough. So, going into film, let's start off with the best film of 2013. And since I am introducing these, I will start them off. My film of the year is Ender's Game, of the ones I've seen, and that game is just amazing. You have to see this movie. Unless you absolutely hate sci-fi, you have to see this movie, because, oh my god, it was basically a total package, except for the music. The music kind of sucked. But it kind of didn't exist, because it's fallen into the same schlock that Hollywood's been putting out since fucking Batman Begins, where everything sounds the same, and it's dark and brooding, and it's like, no!
Yeah. And I'm just going to say, just because I really wanted to get this off my chest, because I never have a chance to use this, ever, I love sci-fi. I hate how they spell sci-fi on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Yeah. Does anyone actually like how they did that?
The only reason I did that is because of...
Since Quickster.
Yeah,
we only did that so it's trademarkable.
Yeah, I understand why they did it, but it's still like, the fuck?
Yeah. It annoys everyone.
And it's the same way WWE gives their superstars weird-ass names like Michael McGillicuddy because they want to be able to trademark them.
Yeah. Or the actor James Phoenix.
Yeah, Ender's Game it's got phenomenal writing, great acting, great effects. It's just, overall, it's a really, really good movie.
Have you read the book, Jeff?
I have not.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The good book is... A lot of people say that the book is even better, so if you want to get the full experience, you should. Yeah. But this one particularly, because this was like, as far as adaptations go, this was like lukewarm. Like, it wasn't Lord of the Rings, but it wasn't Percy Jackson either. It was like somewhere in between. So it was like one of those movies where it's like, it doesn't completely shortchange the book, but it does make it it helps the experience to read the book.
Fair enough.
I will also point out earlier, if you I guess if you want to enjoy the movie, don't look at the poster, because earlier there's a cracked list about movies that spoiled their endings on their posters, and that was on there. So
it spoiled it with the trailer too, like the final scene when he's like moving his hands, and then it does that like blast on that planet.
Is like fucking awesome scene too.
It is, yeah. But yeah, that was a big spoiler, and it was like, okay, well, go ahead and show the ending in the trailer. They did the same thing with that movie Quarantine.
To be fair, the worst example of that was what I showed you, James. If James remembers, I don't lost him.
I don't remember which one.
I think it was in China or in some European market when they translated the title of The Sixth Sense.
Oh, that's right.
The title of the film into "He's a Ghost."
Yeah.
That well fucking spoils it.
Well, no, I think I'm pretty sure the worst offender is the poster for the original Planet of the Apes that has the fucking Statue of Liberty on it.
Yeah.
Oh.
But anyway.
Yeah, so who wants to go next?
I'm already talking. I'll go next. My best one was Pacific Rim.
Nice.
MMPR movie?
Kind of. Look, Idris Elba being a badass, Ron Perlman being a dick, and giant robots fighting weird-ass alien creatures. How do you lose with that formula?
Yep.
Idris.
You allow Michael Bay to direct.
Idris, sorry.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, the scene with the boat swinging like a baseball bat is like the greatest thing ever put on cinema.
Is that not amazing?
Yeah.
It's completely, like I mentioned to Richter when we discussed this film, I think it was Richter or it was Marcus, it's completely useless by the fact, just one scene earlier we saw him walk fucking through boats and shit as if they're nothing. But I'm sorry, the fact he swung it like a baseball bat, I don't care about the physics, I don't care about the logic, he hit him like a baseball bat. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Logic be damned.
Yeah,
The
great.
the scene with the one kaiju that could fly and then just came out of nowhere and tackled him and then spread its wings. That was probably the biggest what the fuck moment in film this year for me. Because I was just like, holy shit. That was a great scene.
Yeah. No, honestly, the best scene of that whole movie is at the end.
Yeah.
What happened to my fucking shoe? I'm sorry, Ron Perlman was the best character in that movie. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I like the scene that my mom would be proud of, where they like kill the one kaiju and he starts to walk away and he's like, "Wait, let's check for a pulse," and then he fucking blows its head apart with everything.
Yeah, that was amazing.
I was like, "Thank you!" Like I could just hear my mom going, "Shoot it! Make sure he's dead."
Yes.
No, fuck this. No more head. Okay, let's move on.
Well, that's kind of sadistic. Okay then.
Double tap. This is the double tap.
It's a Dead Space philosophy. Make sure it can't get him.
There you go.
The Resident Evil strategy?
Yeah.
The double tap from Zombieland.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my god.
Yeah. I thought the Resident Evil strategy was shoot it as much as possible because it's not survival horror anymore.
Yeah.
That's a hard strategy. Shoot him until he's not moving, and then keep shooting him until you run out of bullets.
All right.
There you go.
I gave mine to The Man of Steel. That film is awesome, and as I've mentioned in the past, and I believe it was Marcus I showed it to as well. I'm so happy this comic actually did something that basically has been misled to a load of the people that don't read comics for fucking years. If you read the comics, Superman kills. In his fight with Zod, he murdered Zod the first time. So I don't know why there was an outcry about it. It's like, at last we're finally getting Superman doing some of the stuff he does in the comics. And people are like, no, that's not the Superman that's been appearing on Saturday morning cartoons.
It's not my Quest for Peace Superman, damn it.
Who gives a shit? They've adapted parts from the comics. Yes, it's a little darker in some regards, like the look and stuff, but most of what he does works. And people talk about the destruction between cities.
Yeah.
You're looking at a guy with super speed, super strength, who was bulletproof that tanks and shit can't take down, fighting someone of equal mass and stuff. Of course it's gonna fucking destroy him. That's just logic right there. What, do you think they're just gonna slap each other and have a fun war? No, fuck off. It was
also the fact that he was just starting off. Like it was his first time. And he didn't really know to tone it down.
It won't be a fight like that when he's against Lex or if he's against someone smaller. Now against Bizarro maybe or Doomsday but Man of Steel got a lot of stuff right and people overlook it. That's why I gave it Film of the Year.
Look at this. He's not fighting to protect in this one. He's fighting to win, which he did.
Yeah, because he's like, people be damned. I will throw cars and buildings if I have to kill you.
And to be fair, most of the destruction was caused by the terraforming a machine that the Kryptonians were using. It wasn't even like the most his was like in Smallville when he was actually fighting in that small town. That was.
Yeah, exactly. And most of the stuff like Geeky Girl mentioned where he throws cars and stuff like that, they're abandoned stuff, and he's using them as weapons because he's weaker than them.
Yeah, and
he's weaker than them. He's at a disadvantage. He has to try and save people.
But he has the ass. He's Superman, right? He's super.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's automatically winning. But yeah, that's why, like, at the end, when he does, like everyone knows because of how much he got blown out, when he kills Zod, he's not killing Zod to kill Zod. He's doing it to save the people in the subway, and it's such a powerful scene, and it's fucking awesome. That film's
actually... I had a friend who is a huge Superman fan, and he had mixed opinion about Man of Steel, but he actually ultimately liked it. But he said that he had a much better idea for the ending that I thought was a little bit better, and it was like he said that it would have been better if he had put his hand over Zod's eyes as he was shooting the laser and caused him to burn his own eyes out, but damaged his hand at the same time. It would have been a more it would have killed him, but it would have been more satisfying because it would have been like, oh, he injured himself to protect these people, and something like that.
Or he could have done the, quote, Superman thing, and instead of putting him into a full Nelson, I don't know, stand in front of Zod. You're Superman. He can't kill you.
Yeah, but I don't think they ever really established how much damage a laser or heat vision would cause for. It might have.
I think they used heat vision during one of the fights between the various Kryptonians, and whenever one of the Kryptonians got blasted by heat vision, it knocked them fucking backwards. It hurt them. And Zod's more powerful. Yeah, standing in front of him would be like if you stood in front of me with a gun. It would not be a good idea.
Probably knock him back into the family and kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is one thing I wanted to mention about Man of Steel, and I get to mention it in front of the mole, so I can either be made to look like a total idiot or be vilified and say, yeah, I'm right. And that is, I finally got to see some scenes out of it, because I haven't seen the movie, but I finally watched a review of it, so I got to see some of the scenes. And is it me, or did they fucking bastardize General Zod?
Nope, they didn't.
Because there was one line that just made me facepalm, where I'm like, wait, so you're the Eradicator now? Where he's all like, all I care about is protecting the sanctity of Kryptonian life. I'm like, you're not the Eradicator.
I'm going to be honest.
You have to think in the comics when Zod's come back before now. Bear in mind, at the time when Zod came back, most of the time, Superman is, quote, the last Kryptonian. They've normally pulled some things where Zod believes he's actually doing what's right for his people, because he's General Zod. He's still meant to be a leader. Yes, he's a radical, but it's like as much as we hate these people, it's like Bin Laden and Saddam Hussein and people like that. They actually do believe they're doing the right thing for their people.
Yeah.
They're not good guys, but they believe they're doing the right thing, and that's one of the things Zod always has.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest, I didn't really care for it.
I just always felt that the Phantom Zone was effectively Krypton's, like, Arkham Asylum or Stryker's Island. It's the place they threw all their worst criminals or criminals they couldn't or didn't want to deal with.
It is, but you have to think, like I said, you have to think Zod's radical. He's like a terrorist type person. He's been in their prison, but he was in the prison because he thinks he's better than what their government knows. Therefore, when he sees Superman, the son of Jor-El, as far as he's concerned, this is the son of like a peasant that wouldn't fucking help me save Krypton. This is a guy that's just beneath my standards.
He's like the Unabomber.
Like Vegeta Goku.
Pretty much. That's why a lot of times, especially in the recent comic, one of the recent ones when they brought back all the Kryptonians, they had like Zod and stuff, and Superman mentioned one of the main reasons he finds it hard with Zod is Zod's the elite of Kryptonian soldiers, and he can't compete with that. and Zod, and during that when Superman's serving Zod because he's trying to help the Kryptonians, which was a dumb storyline anyway, but because I can't believe they brought him all fucking back. But it was a case of you saw there that Zod just treated him like shit. He would tell everyone in the army his plans except Superman. That's how much he thinks Superman's less than him.
Yeah.
Either that or he's afraid Superman will try to stop him because, well, he's Superman.
Yeah, there's that too, but there's also the, like you mentioned, the Vegeta Goku thing of I'm the elite, you're just like basically a farm boy at this point. Literally.
Yeah. I will just say I also have not seen Man of Steel. I will just say, based on the scenes that I have seen of the film online in reviews and just in passing online and whatnot, I wouldn't say, as I said, I can understand both sides of the argument. I've never had that much of an opinion on Superman one way or another, so I think it's a valid interpretation, but I will just say, I think that it could have been done better. I will defer you to how it should have ended, Man of Steel. Go to YouTube. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
Hey, but Jim, you have to like it because it shows off the place that we work so much, you know?
Oh, God, don't remind me. We're not going to go there. And now we, you walked out.
Yeah, but don't you want a movie to show off the place you work like at least six times in a movie?
It's not Superman's fault that his mom works there.
He destroyed his mom's job, you know.
Anyway, let's move along. Best new
his
film.
Mother
Who's
unemployed.
next?
Best new film. Yeah, I'll go. I was torn between two, but because I was pretty much gonna like have the best actress be from one of them. The one I'll just make an honorable mention. Evil Dead was going to be the honorable mention, but my best film for this year is This Is the End, because that movie was absolutely hysterical every time I saw it. I saw it 3 times since it came out, and each time I was just dying laughing. I was watching it with people who hadn't seen it both times. And it's just a really well done movie. It's like you would expect a movie like that to really cater to just like the characters that it's trying to portray, because it's actors that are playing themselves, and you would expect it to be a little bit more vain, but they play it really, really well and close to the chest, because a lot of the times they're playing off of fictional versions of their characters, so they're not really playing themselves. They're playing a character, but it's like sometimes it's so different from how they really are that you can believe that this is an entirely different story from how they would really react in a situation like this, and it just adds to the humor that they bring in certain things about their careers. Like they mentioned Seth Rogen, they mentioned like the Green Hornet, and they try to do this film like whole movie sequel to Pineapple Express, and they were like, we should do more sequels to our movies. And James Franco was like, how about we don't do Your Highness 2? And then it just reminds you how bad of a movie Your Highness was, and it's like, it's good fun because it's like they're mentioning the movies that they were in that sucked or that they didn't like.
Your
Highness
wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't, but it's just hilarious that that James Franco like felt that way about the movie and whatnot. So yeah, they do that quite a bit in the movie, but and yeah, just the pacing of it is really well done, and it's hilarious throughout the entire movie, and it has a good message too as well. So I recommend it.
Yeah, so basically in that movie, all the actors are like Neil Patrick Harris and Harold and Kumar.
Basically, I mean, some of them are like the main two, Seth Rogen and Jay Baruchel. They're more so like how you would expect them to be. I mean, all of them are kind of how you expect them to be, but it's just like those two in particular because they're the two leads. So.
They're high and riding unicorns.
Please tell me if they're doing
they do get high.
Please tell me if they're doing actors in that style role. Please tell me they have Bill fucking Murray from Zombieland.
No, they don't.
Oh, that was one of the greatest things ever.
That really was. It is kind of like that, though.
Hermione just stole our shit!
Yeah, that scene was hysterical. They really dropped the ball on that.
Aw.
No, I mean, it was good. They dropped the ball on the situation because she came in, she was like happy to be there, and they were going to give her shelter. Then they started talking about we need to make sure she's got a good environment. We don't want to make her feel uncomfortable. And everybody acted like they didn't know what he was talking about. And then he was like, they were like, he's trying to make sure we don't give off a rapey vibe. And then they start arguing about who would be most likely to rape her. And then she overhears it, and she's like, back the fuck up. And he's like, no, it's not what you think. He's like, I just heard you talking about which one of you is gonna rape me, and then that leads to the scene you see in the previews where she's basically robs them of their shit. It's hilarious though. Yeah.
I really want to see that movie. I haven't had the opportunity yet.
Oh yeah, it's great movie.
All right, who's next? Best new film.
I'll go.
All right.
Okay, I haven't seen many new films, so I wouldn't say it's like the best in comparison to like all time, but so far the ones I've seen, I really liked The Hunger Games, the second one, because it could also, Catching Fire. It could also be because my expectations for that were really lowered, because I saw the trailers and I thought they weren't gonna go the way they were gonna go in the book. So I was like, oh god, this is gonna be shit, but I gotta see it anyway to see like exactly how they're gonna do it. And I was surprised. Pleasantly surprised to see they actually did it fairly well, and they didn't go the route that I thought they were gonna go. based on the trailers. And they stayed pretty close to the book and stuff. So I really, really appreciated that. And I don't know why, but I really loved seeing, what's the guy's, it's Phineas something. He was carrying, like, the old woman Mags a whole lot. I just really enjoyed visually seeing that, because when I read it, I was like, that's so awesome that he cares about, like, this older person. And they really had that really done, and they did... And they did Volts really well.
Cool. I want to see that film.
Yeah.
I heard it was a good film, but I heard it was, I was talking to somebody at work today, and she actually compared that to Legend of Smaug, and then it said that at the end of both of those films, it didn't feel like they were over.
Yeah, well, I mean, they were leading it into the next movie, but a lot of people don't like that, and I don't see the problem, but...
Well, it's not over, because there's another one.
I like,
well, no.
Yeah. I like it when they do that, QJ, for sequels. I don't like if they do it for the first film. I think the first film should always be self-contained.
Yeah,
do it for the sequels.
Fair enough, but the comparison that was made, because Smaug was brought up, and Marcus can chime in, and Sage can chime in this, was a comparison that the person I was talking to made was to the Lord of the Rings trilogy, where, yeah, it's a trilogy and they connect, but each of them is a self-contained film in and of itself that you can watch and be satisfied that the plot of that particular movie is over.
Yeah. That's the problem. That's what a lot of people have problem with the Lord of the Rings trilogy. But it's the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
And we just lost Geeky Girl. Oh, she's back.
Alright, well, moving on. Best new film, I believe we're down to Richter and Marcus.
Yep, me. I was going to go after James because mine was also Pacific Rim. Very entertaining movie. I wanted to see giant robots or people piloting robots beat up giant monsters, and I saw exactly that.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was described as either the awesomest, dumbest movie ever or the dumbest, awesome movie ever, and either fits. That movie was fucking fun.
Yep. Anyone who's ever listened to XGR ever knows Richter loves his Max.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let me check his pulse.
If it's a proper mech, it shouldn't have a pulse.
That was great.
He
was the kaiju, not the mech. Alright, so, Marcus, next category, you're kind of supposed to be hosting here.
Did Marcus give a best film?
Yeah, he went first.
Started. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he went first. Normally the person who category starts.
Next category, best film sequel or prequel.
Yes.
And for the best, I'm giving it to The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug. That movie was actually pretty good. That's what I said, Smaug.
And you said Smaug.
I thought it was Smog.
No, it's Smaug.
I say
pronounced
Smaug. It sounds funny.
It's pronounced Smaug. Get it right. If Angeline Lilly was on Conan and she said it's pronounced Smaug.
She's wrong there. Actually, it's written, so it doesn't matter how.
Yeah, she was one of the best parts of the movie. But but no, it is a really good movie. It's better than the first one. Except, again, like with Ender's Game, lack of music. Well, okay, Ender's Game wasn't lack of music, it was just crap generic music. Yeah. Hobbit, lack of music, which is surprising. I'm like, where's the music in this movie?
Yeah, the Vanilla Ice and Hobbit rap.
Saved it for the
Go Hobbit, go Hobbit, go. Go Hobbit, go Hobbit, go.
Please tell me during either of the Hobbit films, Marcus, please tell me, have they at least used Leonard Nimoy's Bilbo Baggins song?
No, but that needs to be the end credits for There and Back Again.
No, but one of the people on one of the adventures did get shot in the knee.
His adventuring days are over.
Okay, it was a good movie, but there are things about this movie that just make me go, really? And I've never read the books, so I don't know if Tolkien wrote it this way, or if it's just, well, Lord of the Rings in this. Or if it was just Peter Jackson's style, because if Tolkien wrote it this way, then, yeah, I have to say unoriginal hack.
I'm pretty sure he didn't write in a scene for freaking Legolas to be skating down a flight of stairs on a shield, shooting arrows and shit. I'm pretty sure that's not in the book. But.
No, but Legolas was a badass in this movie, I have to admit. Sure. kind of made me question what happened in Lord of the Rings, because I'm like, wait, if he could do this stuff, why the hell is Boromir dead?
he got tired.
Exactly.
What about the whole leave my own blood thing?
What I was talking about, though, is...
You do realize that 90% of the shit that actually happened in that trilogy was because of Legolas. He can't fight the whole fucking war himself.
Why don't I just tie a ring to an arrow and shoot it in the goddamn, volcano or whatever?
Exactly, what the fuck?
Why didn't they just take the ring, pop in an envelope marked cash for gold, and send it off?
What I was referring to, though, is that a lot of scenes were shot for The Hobbit, specifically this one, The Desolation of Smaug, is shot almost frame for frame the same way Peter Jackson shot Lord of the Rings. I'm like, really? And specifically, it's, as Richter mentioned, one of the dwarves gets shot in the knee. So Evangeline Lilly's character, Tariel, decides to save him. And almost shot for shot, it's fucking Arwen saving Frodo, walking up with the light behind her and shit. I'm like, what?
Maybe they were doing that on purpose.
I'm sure they did it on purpose, but I'm just like, really? Did you have to copy your own shots, Pete?
And all fairness, the thing is, I don't hold Peter Jackson responsible for anything in this trilogy, because he didn't want to direct this fucking trilogy. They made him. He tried to hire Guillermo del Toro, and then he backed the hell out. So Peter Jackson's only going to produce this shit. He didn't want to direct it because he probably knew he was going to do this shit, and they made him do it anyway.
To be fair, no one...
Del Toro's still there because he's credited as one of the writers.
Yeah, and to be fair, no one made him do anything. Like someone put a gun to his head and said, "You will direct this." He still had to at least agree to it, sign a contract and shit. But in his defense, even though I'm not a fan of his, in his defense, although the directors do tend to do that, if they're doing prequels, they tend to do stuff that references the previous films or something to show that, oh look, they're in this type of thing and this reflects back to that. Like, the Star Wars prequels did that a hell of a lot, reflecting back, so you could see Anakin went through something similar to Luke. They're probably doing the same thing with The Hobbit, which it's a common trope within prequels and shit to do that. So I at least understand it, and I'm giving him props for it.
Fair enough.
But yeah, despite all the similarities this movie has to Lord of the Rings, and there were a lot of them, it was still a really good movie. And I think it helped the fact that I saw this on IMAX 3D. And we're not talking piddly little IMAX 3D. We're talking 6-story tall, 80-foot wide, fire-breathing dragon in 3D.
Nice.
Yeah, it was
just a 50-inch screen. He's just really tiny.
He stood really close.
Yeah.
80p?
80 feet wide.
No, I meant the frame rate, 80p. Whatever the fuck it is. That advanced fucking frame rate that Jackson insists on using that most theaters can't compensate for.
It's an 80p.
No, I don't know. That's the resolution. I'm talking about the frame rate.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Marcus is an expert on this, because Peter Jackson likes to use this really fast fucking frame rate that most theaters don't have the ability to compensate for.
It was something stupid like 40-something frames per second or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know if he used it for this one. If he did, it wasn't as noticeable as the first one, because this one actually was fine. Of course, I don't know if it was also because, like I said, I was watching the ginormous 3D, but on the IMAX screen, but it looked fine. It wasn't as jarring as in the first movie.
48 frames.
I have to ask, isn't watching a film about little people like the Hobbits are on a giant fucking screen kind of redundant?
Yeah.
I didn't watch it on that for them. I watched it for the giant fire-breathing dragon.
True, but they're the title character.
That's why he's a true nerd, because he went and watched it for the dragon instead of for Evangeline Lilly.
No,
but I mean,
the
like,
name of the movie is The Desolation of Smaug. Therefore, Smaug is the title character.
But do you know
I
how
can't
hard
help
it is
but
to
laugh
find
every time you guys say Smaug. It sounds so weird.
I know, I love it.
It is so hard to find a proper dragon. I mean, seriously, there's hardly any treasure-hoarding dragons. There's always little dragon-ling things, or no, I want a frickin' hundreds and hundreds of year old treasure-hoarding dragon. And it's so hard to find it in games or movies or anything.
Don't worry, Stace, the dragons are coming.
Wait, did Tachi just show up? I heard a Tachi laugh.
I knew you'd get that, Jim.
I don't get it.
I'm the only one, because I'm the only one that's actually watched South Park this season. That was good. Okay, anyway. And in all respects, Daisy, you own a literal fucking dragon dagger, so don't go there.
I know, but like, I don't want to see proper dragons in like, film or games, and it's hard to find like the proper ones.
That's because sadly, and I hate to say this, but it's because sadly, whenever a film has a dragon in it, that doesn't mean that they can't have a good one. I mean, the Hobbit film that Marcus went to see could be a good film, but as a rule, they tend to be films like Dungeons and Dragons or Heavy Rain. Mm-hmm. They bring in dragons, and and for some reason, the films end up being shit. I don't know if it's a curse of dragons, but
Heavy Rain.
What was it called? Rain of Fire, then.
Rain of Fire, yeah.
Yeah, Rain of
Heavy
Fire.
Rain.
The title mixed
Heavy
up. But
Rain
still,
definitely doesn't have dragons.
yeah, Heavy Rain doesn't. It does if you're high. It has to be but no, it's the Rain of Fire. But you have to admit, if you look at how many good films have dragons in, count how many are good and count how many are bad. There's a lot more bad, and I don't know why. It tends to be that, which means a lot of people seem more nervous to use them now.
Yeah, that's just like Aragon or something.
Yep.
Let's not talk about that.
But yeah, Hobbit was good. It
Okay.
was probably my second favorite movie of.
Nice.
Never know.
Sweet.
I'll go next. Mine was Star Trek Into Darkness.
Nice.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, in all reality, I saw very few movies this year. It was either going to be that or G.I. Joe Retaliation.
Well, I did want Sherlock in a movie. I mean, they didn't say it had to be a Sherlock movie.
Yeah.
Like I've mentioned before, unpopular opinion, I prefer that to Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
Okay, Jim, I will give you G.I. Joe Retaliation. It was worse than Into Darkness.
Exactly. Those are my options. And G.I. Joe Retaliation was... G.I. Joe Retaliation was okay, but I refused to justify that they put Bruce Willis in a movie and then wouldn't let him do anything.
Why? That seems like it's a diehard.
By the fact that they basically buried an entire cast just so they could have The Rock be the main character.
Well, that too. I refuse to justify that they had Cobra Commander and he wasn't Joseph Gordon-fucking-Levitt.
Let's save that for the worst.
Yeah, so we're gonna get to that anyway.
Yeah.
But yes, Star Trek Into Darkness. I've never been as big a fan of the current crew as I am of Next Gen and some of the more recent show stuff, but so far the Abrams verse has been pretty good. The effects are really cool. And like I said, I really like the way they worked in this particular version of Khan, that Benedict Cumberbatch, into the film, and I thought it worked really well. I thought he played really well with the other characters, especially Zachary Quinto as Spock. I thought that was pretty cool. The fight scene, stuff like that, and I just generally enjoyed the movie a lot. I'm a big Star Trek fan, and it was cool to see. So there you go.
Yeah, I really like that film. I did not enjoy the video game based on that, which I do have to play up with Marcus Shadow playing that.
Oh boy, yeah.
I saw that.
That was horrible. That game.
I will just tell you, you're not alone.
I was going to keep mine short. Mine was Thor: The Dark World. Simply because I'm not much of a fan of Thor, like as opposed to all the other Avengers. But that was a very good movie, and it was a very big step up from Iron Man 3, which I thought was like okay. I thoroughly enjoyed. Maybe it was because like Geeky Girl said about what movie was it that you said that? Oh, Hunger Games. About having lowered expectations, and like this wasn't the one that I was like that I was like really wanting to see, but I was glad I saw it because fucking Christopher Eccleston was pretty awesome as I forget his name, whatever the villain that movie was, but yeah, it was very well done, very a lot better than the first one. And just an enjoyable movie. I was glad that they were leading into Guardians of the Galaxy with the after credit scene. So yeah, I'm excited for that too. And yeah, it was a good movie.
Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah, can't wait for that. Yeah. Anyone else?
I think it's everybody for the favorite movies because I already said The Hunger Games.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Fair enough. Richter?
I did not have a favorite sequel and or prequel this year that I had seen.
Okay, Mole?
I went with The Wolverine.
Fair enough. I haven't gotten to see that yet.
I went with The Wolverine because besides the ending, which is a little out of place, the rest of the film's more Batman Begins than it is The Last Stand.
Yeah.
And
it
they
was
even
a very
do
big step up,
they even do something awesome. They actually make you fear that Wolverine could die.
Mm-hmm.
Because, slight spoiler because it happens early on, a plot device happens, basically-ish, and they take away his healing factor.
Mm-hmm.
Which
That was
means...
already in the trailer, so...
Yeah, but I was just saying, just in case people hadn't seen that bit, just in case. But so you've got a film with Wolverine, he has a child sidekick, and you don't actually get annoyed by the child sidekick like you normally do.
Yeah.
And
It's
it worked. The child sidekick worked, and they found a way to make sure, basically, that Wolverine was cared for. The ending, again, a little out of place, and part of the actual ending as well slightly pisses me off, but that's fair enough.
Yeah. I thought it was a very big step up from X-Men Origins. I really enjoyed it, and it was the first Wolverine-related thing that I've seen as of late. I mean, movie-wise, where I actually believe Hugh Jackman as the Wolverine, because I always thought he looked like the Wolverine, like he embodied that look. But whenever I think of the Wolverine, like, you know, when you think of Tony Stark, you think of Robert Downey Jr. I didn't think that of Wolverine. I always thought it's Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I couldn't really see him embodying Wolverine as a character. But this is the first movie where he really managed to pull that off. And I thought the opening sequence of the World War II thing where he saves the POW he goes into the POW thing and saves the I think it's Japanese soldier was a really awesome way to start the movie, because it was the stakes were already high from the very beginning.
It was, and if you're checking it out on Blu-ray, and I'm not sure about DVD, but check it out on Blu-ray, you'd need to see the fucking alternate ending. It's better than the actual ending.
Oh, yeah.
It's the exact same thing, but they added one little thing which suddenly makes it awesome.
Yeah, I think most people might know of it. I don't know. But, yeah, see it if you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that it? Is that everybody?
I think so.
Okay.
Yes. Fair enough. Alright, moving on. The next category is the best actor in a film.
Or do best actor.
Let's do actor and actress together like we do with TV.
Actor and actress in a film. Mine both come from the same movie. Comes from Ender's Game. Best actor, Asa Butterfield. Hands down, that kid is fucking awesome. He has a really bright future ahead of him in acting and in Hollywood and whatnot. He basically carried that movie. He outacted every single person in that movie. And that's impressive considering Sir Ben Kingsley is in this movie.
And Harrison Ford.
That's not hard to do considering the part they gave him. Mm-hmm. Literally, his part was Harrison Ford. Yeah, it was Harrison Ford portraying Harrison Ford. Yeah. It's not hard to outact that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ben Kingsley, isn't he that dude that played Trevor in Iron Man 3?
Trevor.
Yeah, Ben Kingsley, to his credit, did a really good job in this movie, but yeah, Asa Butterfield is just like, to see that level of acting, and it's the subtle things that he does, and it's the control of his acting instrument. Just to see that level of sophistication from his acting at that age is damned impressive.
Yeah, he did a great job in Hugo, Martin Scorsese film.
Yeah, he was also Mordred in the Merlin TV series.
I heard about that. Yeah, cool.
And my best actress, actually, I split this one because I couldn't decide who to give it to because they were both awesome for different reasons. So, I have a split between Haley Steinfeld and Viola Davis from Ender's Game.
Oh, sorry.
Because Haley Steinfeld's performance as Petra was just phenomenal. It was just mind-blowing. But Viola Davis shows her experience because, you know, she's older and she's more experienced actress. And she played that part with such subtlety that it was a very powerful performance.
Yeah, she's Academy Award nominated too.
Yeah, she She did
Well,
really,
both of them
really
are
well.
actually. But
I mean, this whole movie was very well cast. All the kids in this movie, the primary kids, they were the best part of the movie. They completely outacted the adults, hands down.
Yeah, because I think they did that for a reason. Because they, like, in the book, it's like the adults are the supporting cast to the kids, so they probably made that effort consciously to downplay the acting of the adults. And
yeah, but even then, in a lot of movies where the kids are the primary actors, the adults still end up being the better actors and actresses. You know, as good as they are, and as much as I like the series, Harry Potter is a prime example of that. I'm sorry, the adult actors they had just blew the kids away. But in this movie, the kids were the best part of the movie, hands down.
Yeah, I think it's also the fact that in Harry Potter, the adult actors, the adult characters are more expertly crafted as like in the book they are just supporting characters, but in the book of Ender's Game, but in the book of Harry Potter, it's they're very well crafted as like they're individual and eccentric, characters that are meant to, carry whatever aspect of the scene that they're trying to carry. Whereas in Ender's Game, they're there to uplift the kids of the story. So, yeah, it's really the source material. Yeah.
Well, the source material, and it's the skill of the young actors and actresses, and whether the director and the writers have faith in that acting ability.
Yeah.
Which disappointed me because the fourth movie, what is it? I forget what it's called now.
Goblet of Fire.
Goblet of Fire. That could have been the big, super huge breakout movie for the kids because that was centered on the children characters. And it was the big, basically, character development book of the series. And they chose not to focus on that, and I don't know why.
Because, what's his face? I forget the guy who directed it. I was going to name him, but whatever.
Mark Weir.
Mark, wait, you sure?
No.
I thought it was something
the director, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I did not like his directorial style. But yeah, that could have been the Ender's Game of Harry Potter, and it wasn't. But that's why Ender's Game is so good. Because the child actors are just... They have a future in Hollywood, and I expect big things from all of them.
Nice. Mike Newell.
Mike Newell, that's it. Sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Who's next?
Mm-hmm. Also, in respect to that discussion, if you want to see a movie where, despite the source material, the child actors and the adult actors are all terrible, go see The Last Airbender.
No thanks.
Let's not get on that. We'll be here all day.
Yeah. Moving along. And I'll go next. For Best Actor, I gave it to Benedict Cumberbatch. Mostly for Star Trek Into Darkness, although I heard he was pretty good as Smaug, too.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And I think he was in like 3 other movies last year. I lost track of how many movies he was in. He was in a lot.
Yeah, he was in Fifth Estate, that movie about WikiLeaks, and
that's right, he was Julian Assange.
Yeah. And I think that was
weird in that.
He did, but
anyway, yeah, I only saw him in Into Darkness, and he was great as Khan. I thought he did really well as being the mysterious but emotional, superpowered, bad guy, and how he turned on them, and you didn't really know which side he was on and everything else. He was just a badass beating people up. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's technology that shouldn't exist. And somehow he managed also to stealth said technology from the Klingons. What the fuck?
Well, that's a whole other story.
It's from the past, so.
Well, for instance, he's a super genius, so he could have created that.
No. But that's another story.
Yeah. My best actress, I gave it to, I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name properly, but it's Ringo Kikuchi. She's from Pacific Rim. She was the young Asian lady. I thought she was really good in that movie. The way she had to, portray when she first went to the drift, recalling the memories of how, she lost her family and everyone in I believe it was the second kaiju attack ever on, I'm assuming it was the one on Manila there. Unless it was just some other one. I could be wrong. But the way she had this lost absolutely everything, and then how she got saved by Idris Elba, his character, and
and he got
and the way she was just very good at just portraying that emotion and getting those feelings across. Working with Charlie Hunnam, not so much, but just her ability to with the flashbacks and her relationship with Idris Elba's character, I thought was really well done, and I thought that she did a very good job.
Yeah, I didn't think she had that much chemistry with Charlie Hunnam.
No, that was okay. It was more chemistry with Idris Elba. That's what worked really well. Idris Elba.
Yeah, that father-daughter
relationship, exactly. It was really good, and the whole when he spoiler alert, when Idris Elba sacrifices himself at the end so they can complete the mission. And that whole thing, it just really the emotion ties in well to the action. I thought it worked really well. And again, I didn't have a lot of choices because I didn't see that many movies this year. So
yeah. Cool. I was gonna go. But segueing off of Jim's best actor, mine was Benedict Cumberbatch for Star Trek Into Darkness as well. I felt like he was the best part of the movie for me. His voice rocked the entire theater. For that, every time he spoke, it was like you could feel it in your chest. And he had just so much power and subtlety to his acting, and it was what inspired me to watch Sherlock, actually, because of his performance in that. I knew he was probably Khan. The whole thing of them trying to hide that was that was the third time they tried to do that. They did it with Dark Knight Rises with Talia al Ghul, and they did it with Skyfall with Miss Moneypenny, his secretary. So them trying to hide that aspect was they really didn't have to, but I mean it worked, I guess, and you could see it coming pretty much. But
black French coat, slick back hair, technology that impossibly exists. Who else could it be?
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, exactly.
Obviously, the villain of the movie.
Yeah, because everybody was like, "Oh, is he gonna be Khan?" And it was like, "No, he's some guy named John Harrison." And it was like, "No, he's freaking Khan." I knew he was gonna be Khan before I even knew what part he was gonna play in the movie. It was just the way they tried to cover it up. I had seen it before. It's an obvious Hollywood tactic. They can't keep it under wraps. But yeah, I really liked that his role, and yeah, he established himself as one of my favorite actors from that movie alone. So, and my best actress is Jane Levy from the lead. She played Maya in Evil Dead, and Evil Dead overall was just a great movie, a great remake. A lot of people were, because it's a cult classic, so a lot of people were iffy about it and weren't sure. Oh yeah, it kind of. Yeah, it's kind of.
Yeah, everyone's debating on whether that's a remake or a sequel.
Yeah, because they're officially saying it fits in the continuity, because eventually they were saying they were going to have the two Ash Williams, made famous by Bruce Campbell, team up with her in one of the movies in the future. So it's hard to say, but yeah, and then it's a different cast altogether. But it follows the premise of the original, not to a T, but because the lead this time gets switched, as opposed to when it was just straightforward from the first one. I can't give any more than that without spoiling it. But
to be fair, continuity-wise, the first three didn't have much great continuity with the whole Ash is so stupid he had to go back to the woods again because they didn't have the rights to do sort of stuff with the first film.
Yeah.
So I can excuse that if the film's good.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing that I didn't like about it was that they took out an aspect of it that made it seem a lot more stupid of an experience. And also, it was because in the original they had a tape player that caused the demons to rise up. But in this one, they had this hippie teacher dude read off the Latin in the book, and it really made you like anybody who was a casual fan who didn't know anything about Evil Dead would just be like, why would you do that? Nobody in their right mind would just read off something where it says do not read, and then you read it anyway. Like, it just made it seem like it was all the result of a stupid mistake by some hippie teacher dude. So I didn't really like that aspect of it, but there was something else I was going to mention about it. I lost my train of thought. But anyway, I really liked everything other than that, and Jane Levy really brought her all with this. I hadn't heard of her before this movie, but she really carried the movie because she had to play the villain, and then turn around near the end. She had to become the heroine. And totally, she was able to hold her own on both ends of the spectrum, and basically she's gonna become the new face of the series whenever they start franchising it and combining it with the other their original movies. So I'm looking forward to seeing her show up more as the series progresses. But the other thing I was going to mention was I didn't like how the movie was. It felt like if you weren't a fan or didn't know anything about Evil Dead, this movie will seem like just a gore fest, like your average gore fest movie. And a lot of people went in thinking that, like they went in and didn't like it because they were like, oh, it's just like a regular gore fest movie, not knowing that this is the remake of the original gore fest movie that started that trend from the beginning. And it was just trying to, recapture the spirit of the original, which it did very well. But if you don't know that, then it's going to just seem like, oh, it's just copying every other movie when it's actually the remake of the movie that started that trend. So, but other than that, yeah, I liked it. And that wasn't really a fault of the movie itself. It was just like there was nothing they could do about that. That was going to happen anyway. But yeah. But the lead actress, yeah, she did an amazing job. So, yeah, those are my two. Is anybody there?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. This is
Fair enough.
Okay, I'll go next.
Okay.
Best actor, I gave it to Hugh Jackman for the Wolverine, just because you can always rewind this to when QJ was talking about how he, like, for example, he envisioned the role and how he got into it and stuff. And Hugh Jackman did a great job in this film. And he managed to play various aspects of Wolverine all at once. Like, he managed to play the love interest with some stuff. He managed to play the like father figure version of Wolverine we see, the badass Wolverine, the vulnerable Wolverine, which we don't see often and stuff. So I gave it to that. My actress, I gave it to Gwyneth Paltrow for Pepper in Iron Man 3. The reason why is, while I don't like Iron Man 3, I'm sorry, the cast aren't bad. Robert Downey Jr. and her are fucking awesome. And she's an amazing Pepper, so I gave it to her. Because I figured I'm probably going to get to Iron Man 3, slight spoiler later on when we get to the worst list, but I wanted to show that not everything in that film's bad. I mean, I like her in it.
And let's face it, she was extremely hot as a half-naked genetic soldier.
Of course she was. She was practically on fire. Did you not pay attention to her powers?
Nice.
And by the way, am I the only one that was sad at the end of the movie when they took her powers away? Because I'm like, cool, now she can be an Avenger since Tony's quitting.
It wouldn't have fit in the continuity, but yeah. That would have been cool.
Didn't you see the, is it a robot chicken thing or something where they go, like, I gave it up because I'm Iron Man, not necessarily the suit. And so everybody's like, hey, Avengers need you. And Pepper's like, oh, I can be the Iron Man now. And she goes off and does the thing,
But
nice.
They haven't cured her.
I think they did, but
yeah,
they did
because if you watch Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., later on when they get the exterminate stuff happen later on there, they mentioned there's no cure for it. All they can do is help people live with it, which means like people have said when you look at it, it seems like it's possible. She's got the powers. She's just found a way to suppress them, I should say.
It's possible, but that's just S.H.I.E.L.D. That's not Tony Stark, who, as he pointed out in the film, almost had it figured out while he was half drunk.
True, but
That's
Tony
true.
Stark, S.H.I.E.L.D. have access to everything Tony has.
Yeah.
No, Tony has access to everything S.H.I.E.L.D. has. It doesn't work the other way around, as we saw when he used Jarvis to hack fucking S.H.I.E.L.D. in the Avengers movie.
Yeah,
I think
but we've also
maybe
seen the fact that we've also seen, like, in Iron Man, was it 1 or 2, where you see, like, Nick Fury in his office and stuff. It's because S.H.I.E.L.D's always keeping tracks of him.
I think maybe Pepper got the Magic Johnson treatment.
You grind up $10,000 and inject it directly in your bloodstream.
Yeah, to inject the cure. She's the only one that got it.
Yeah, but I'm hoping they haven't. I'm hoping they haven't cured her, because it was kind of cool to see her in the female Iron Man suit and stuff. So it'd be cool to see her go at it like as a sidekick or something. Because it'd add a new element, and she wouldn't just be there like she's been in a couple of the films. This one she was more active.
That's what I liked about it.
She wouldn't just be another Mary Jane Watson, and yes, that would be good.
Yes.
We haven't seen Mary Jane yet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, the one in the original trilogy was Gwen, not Mary. It was just called Mary.
Yeah. Alright.
Anybody else? Did we get everybody's actor and actress?
Oh, not me.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, mine was, Martin Freeman, from The Hobbit. I think he's just an awesome, like, Bilbo and stuff, and I love how he can just make me, like, feel very sympathetic for him, but he can also be, like, like, ballsy at the same time, like, fuck yeah, he's a thief. He almost got it. He's so smart and he gets out of his thing, and he's just a really good Bilbo. I would have made him for TV actor for friggin' Sherlock for being Watson, but, he could have this one. And then as for actress, I like Jennifer Lawrence, because not only because of her Hunger Games, but she's got like a very diverse. She's been doing a lot of things, and she's got a very diverse like cast. She was freaking I was gonna say Magneto, but oh god,
Mystique.
Yes. Oh my god. And so she's a steak, and she's been doing so many things, and it's like usually when somebody takes on so many projects at one time, they're not usually like that good, or at least the quality overall suffers, but she's been doing a lot of things, and she's been doing a lot of them really good.
Including getting Photoshop to fuck on a magazine cover.
Yeah, there you go. See, she's doing so many things. And people possibly, but and she's doing them all, I'm sure, very well.
The things are the people.
All of
that
it.
is up for up for debate. Another, around
for
the
you to
house.
decide.
In all fairness, a few weeks ago she was on Conan and she did mention her collection of butt plugs.
I saw that. That was hilarious.
Whatever floats your boat. But those are mine.
All right then. Well, I believe that wraps up our best awards. So I think it's time for some worst awards.
Did Richter go?